Hi everybody, I can't be here today, so I left you a video and we're going to review the parts of the library. So I'm going to walk us around and give us a little tour. All right, so when you walk into the library, you walk in by the doors, and the first thing you might see is the circulation desk. So there's the circulation desk. So when you go to check out, you'll go up to Miss Crenshaw, hand her the books with the barcode facing up, and of course, use your manners. Now, it's been a while, but who remembers what this section of the library is called? Okay. Does anybody remember? Yell it out. Yes, this is the everyone section. And if I zoom in real close, you'll see that the call labels say everyone. Now, who recalls how you find books in the everyone section? Raise your hand. Yes, they're in alphabetical order by the author's last name. So if I hold up a book that might interest you, here we go. I found a book called Ninja Bunny, and the author is Jennifer Gray Olson. So Olson, the first three letters are how the books are put on the shelf. So if I zoom in, you'll see E for everyone, O-L-S for Olson. So I know where this book goes. This is called a call label, and it's on the spine. And in the everyone section, you have the E for everyone, and then the first three letters of the author's last name, and it tells us where the book goes on the bookshelf. So you might find some books over in the everyone section. The next section I'm going to go to is this big wall back here. If you look at it carefully, it starts way over here on this section right here, and that's called the fiction wall. And it goes from A over here, way down to the other end, way down to Z, way over there. Okay, so those books also go in alphabetical order by the author's last name. So if I go close, you'll see on the spine of those books, you'll have an F for fiction, and then the first three letters of the author's last name. So if I want this book, The Last Kids on Earth, the author is Max Bruller, B-R-A. So on the spine should be F for fiction, B-R-A. And they're put on the bookshelf in alphabetical order by the author's last name. And of course, on this side of the library, we have starts the A's. Way up there, you might see the A. And on the bookshelf, the A starts here, but it goes across, and it keeps going until you get to the next letter, which is way at the bottom, B. So when you're looking for a book, sometimes you start at the letter, but then you have to move across the bookshelf and maybe even down to the next shelf until you find the book you're looking for. So let's do a review of the fiction section. The fiction section is in alphabetical order by the author's last name. And when I'm standing on this side of the library, right here, the edge here, you'll see that A is over there, and it goes all the way down the library till it gets to Z way over there. And they're put on the shelves in alphabetical order by the author's last name. So on the spine, you see the call label, an F for fiction. And of course, this book was written by Kate DiCamillo. And so D-I-C for DiCamillo. And when I go over to fiction, D-I-C, all her books that we have, The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane, people, I know some of you are reading this in Miss Gray's class, are all together with the same author. So they're on the bookshelves in alphabetical order by the author's last name. And in the fiction section, there's an F for fiction. So the next section of the library is the nonfiction section. And if you look behind me, the labels I have are in turquoise, and it says nonfiction. On the spine, you will see numbers and 3 letters. And the 3 letters stand for the author's last name. Now, what's great about the nonfiction section is that they're grouped together by categories. All the animal books will be together, all the ghost books will be together. So when you know the category, and once you find the number for that category, all the books will be over there of the same type. So I'm going to roll over here and we're going to zoom over, and you're going to see that we start off at 000 in the nonfiction section. And this is our section 000, and I don't have a lot of books in the 000s. There's Bigfoot, Area 51, Loch Ness Monster, so different monsters you might see. You'll have almanacs over here. You'll have world record books over here. And then we go down a shelf and we're at the 100s. And in the 100s, we'll see lots of ghost books. So if I pull up the spine to show you one a little closer, you see that's 131.1, and the author's last name, first 3 letters of the author's last name, F-E-R. So those are the 100s. Then on the lower shelf, which you can't see, are the 200s over here. And the 200s go across until we hit this shelf, and we're at the 300s. Now again, the numbers start, but then they get bigger, bigger, bigger as we go to the right. And in the 300s, you might find military books like Air Force and Army, and then they go down to the next shelf is 300s, and the next shelf, and you keep going until you hit the next number. This is still the 300s. This time it's 398, so the numbers keep getting bigger as you go to the right. Again, nonfiction goes by numbers, the Dewey Decimal numbers, and they're grouped together. So over here are all fairy tales, and they go across. Ooh, 398 has dragons and creatures and things like that, mermaids, going across until we hit the 400s. We zoom out a little bit so you can see. This is the 400s. So I see sign language over here, and the books go across until we hit 500s. The 500 section is huge. Okay, it starts right here, way down there, and it goes across and it goes to the bottom level, and then I actually have to move over bookshelves, and here's more 500s. They go across and then they come down to this shelf, and it goes down, and plants and oceans are over here, and tornadoes and things like that. And watch this. We have to go, I'm going to turn you to so you see, we have to walk all the way this way to get to more 500s. And a lot of you like this section. This section here are the 500s, if you see it. See, that's pretty good. This starts all the animal books in the 500s. So if I pull this first book out, I have no idea what it is right now. What if you had an animal nose, and the number on this is 573.2 MAR for the author's last name, which is Markle. So the 500s continue way over here. These are all animal books. There's snakes, and there's raccoons, and there's lizards, and the animals books go all the way around this corner. Continue to the 500s. We're continuing more 500s on this side. Look how big the 500 section goes, all the way down to here. And over here I see rhinoceros, and I see elephants, and I see grizzly bears, all 500s. After the 500, of course, what number is next, people? 600s, exactly. So the 600s start over here in the nonfiction section, goes across. Oh, and in the 600s, look at this. Cars. I pulled out a Porsche book. Look at that, Porsche. Of course, all the books about cars are in 629.222, the author's last name. Okay, then it goes across, motorcycles cross, and we lead into dogs are in the 600, cats and horses. And we come to the 700s. A lot of you like the 700s. That's all the graphic novels. Which graphic novels? Oh, look at Narwhal books. Excellent. So graphic novels start at 741.5. And this author is Ben Clayton. So on the spine, we have CLA for Clayton, Super Narwhal, and the Jelly Jolt. These are so fun. Graphic novels, of course, being like cartoons and comic books. And graphic novels go around the corner. The 700s keep growing, a larger number as we go. Here's more 700s right here. 741, more graphic novels, more 700s. Then we get to this section in the 700s. They're all drawing books, like how do you draw cars? Look at that. How to draw cars. These are 743. So all the drawing books will be in 743. And then they keep going in the 700s. Ooh, we have sports books in the 700s. These are 796. So the number keeps getting bigger as we go to the right. Going down, now we're at the 800s. And in the 800s, you start to see poetry, okay, in the 800s. And after poetry, you get more 800s. Hold on, coming around the bend here. Love this section here. Here we go. We have joke books down here. These are 818. So all the joke books are found together in 818. And when you use the library catalog, it tells you where in the library you can find these books. It will show you the call number, and we're going to review that in a minute too. After 800s, of course, we have 900s. We have Egypt, and we have Civil War and different things in the 900s. Then coming up, the last section of the library. I love this section. This section is called Biographies. In the biography section, it's right over here. Okay, and I have them labeled with orange labels. Okay, orange labels, biographies. And what's great about biographies is on the spine, you'll have the number 92, because we're still in nonfiction, right? They're still real books. But it goes by 92, and the person's name they're talking about. So if we are talking about Amelia Earhart, all right, on the spine will be 92, and then her last name, Earhart, E-A-R. So 92, E-A-R. And I know where it goes back in alphabetical order by the person's name they're talking about. So if I love peanuts. I love peanut butter. And peanut butter was invented by George Washington Carver. So I'd go 92, Carver, C-A-R, and find a book by George Washington Carver in the biography section. So today, if you have time, you're going to use the library catalog to look up a book, find the call number, then you can find it amongst these 12,000 books. Happy reading!